Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. This is our first webinar, Cascade Learning Open Central Asia Regional Interest Community Plus American English live webinars. So you know where we explain it when we were posting about this segment, like when you watch these webinars and you learn, and after watching and learning, you try to cascade the learning. And our first presenter for the first webinar Aziza Khasanova from Uzbekistan, and she's going to cascade the first webinar, which was with Hizer Benucci, and the topic of elicitation and grouping strategies to support learner output. Aziza Khasanova earned her master's degree from Webster University and currently serves at the International Talent Academy, where she contributes to advancing high-quality education and talent development. She's also a dedicated member of the C5+1 educational project, actively engaging in initiatives that promote international collaboration and educational innovation. Aziza Khasanova is an educator and researcher dedicated to improving literacy and cognitive development in young learners. With extensive experience teaching in international and public schools, she has led projects on language acquisition, CLIL methodology, and memory development in education. Aziza has actively contributed to educational reforms in Uzbekistan, including the renewal of English textbooks and teacher training initiatives. A member of the prestigious Future Leaders, Gelecek Liderleri Club, she's committed to advancing innovative practices that strengthen students' working memory and support inclusive, high-quality education. Welcome, Aziza.
Thank you so much. So can I start?
You can start, Aziza, you can start. You can share the screen and we will let you do it.
Please. I'm not able to share it now.
You will let me do it. No, you can. No, you can.
Okay.
Great. It's working.
Aziza, you are muted. Can you please unmute yourself? We cannot hear.
So I don't know why.
But you started sharing.
Okay.
You start sharing.
Yeah, I have started. Am I audible
she was
now?
unmuted.
You have to choose.
Yeah, now, yes.
You have to choose the slide, Aziza.
Yeah. Is it audible now?
Yeah, you are audible. We can see.
Wow, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we can see your
So,
presentation.
and my slides are visible, yes?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk with you about today's three main goals. So the first one, what is elicitation itself and how we can work with them in our classroom. The second one is that we will look through the connections between elicitation and the classroom audience, how the teachers interact with students, or students with the teacher. And the last one is reflection, especially how elicitation strategies can help us, yes, during our lessons. So the first one that I want to give you, just like a checkup, what is elicitation? So guys, now I want to give you a few minutes, like seconds, to scan the QR code, and then write your ideas about elicitation on the side of Mentimeter, okay? So can you scan it and write your ideas about the elicitation? What do you think about it? What it means for you, or what do you understand?
Great. Yes, dear participants. And we have our amazing community leader, Nadira Kushpakova from Uzbekistan. She's going to moderate the chat box and facilitate the Q&A session.
Just a minute. I don't know why, but it's not going to work, I see. So if you want, you can write it in a chat also. By the way, maybe I will try to correct it.
Okay. Okay. Yes, we have a chat moderator, and I am your host for today.
So what do you understand by elicitation? What means elicitating for you? And do you usually use it? And I believe that you are doing it well.
Yeah, we have some coming some responses into the chat box. So what do they say?
Wow, you're not so active, guys. It's very bad. Let's try to activate it. It's when a teacher takes ideas from the students. Wow, perfect. Yeah. Elaboration, getting understanding from the responder. Wow, I like it. It's like when a teacher asks a lot of questions from the students. Yes, perfect. And get ideas from ideas. Excellent. CCQ questions, like you can easily use and get initial understanding from students. Wow. Great. So let's continue. I'm really happy that you are going and you're trying to share your ideas because they're really important for me. So, elicitation. What is elicitation itself? So, eliciting is a process of drawing information, yes, or ideas from the learners. Especially in this case, they don't understand themselves that they're giving or sharing their ideas with you. So they do it unconsciously mostly. Then it helps for teachers to see what the learners know. The teachers get the ideas about students' knowledge. And then it students to engage or encourage them to draw on what they know or partly know. So especially here, you can understand their knowledge about the prior things maybe or experience that students have, yes? And sometimes it can also make students to think about the component or about the things, about the thing maybe especially that even they don't know because they try to think, oh, what can I say? Or how can I answer for this question? So it means that you give them the chance to brainstorm some kind of ideas. So we are looking now so several questions like VH questions. What is elicitation itself? Why do we use it? How often can we use elicitation, or when we can use elicitation? So you can elicitate any kind of things, especially letters, numbers, words, different kind of symbols, maybe sentences, or even the text which are given in a large size. With primary or kindergarten students, you can elicitate even the sounds, yes? So you are repeating them like in a phonics way. So by this way, all the things that you're doing is that you're checking their vocabulary knowledge. You're checking their experience about the components, about the things that they do now. So by the way, you're going also to check their grammar knowledge. Maybe they forgot something, or maybe they know it. So you're checking every single thing that students know. or you can plan also these things ahead that you can give as a teacher for your students. So by this way, you also can know the ideas, opinions. You can check up any kind of things that are regard for their feelings, their emotions, their beliefs, and you can understand their prior knowledge. Yes, so you can implicitly use every kind of things in your lesson. So for the question how, we have decided to divide them for 4 main categories, like non-verbal part, written part, object or image-based part, and oral part. So now I want you to give a short question. What do you think? What does it mean non-verbal, and how you can use elicitation in non-verbal part? And how you can use elicitation in oral part? So I want to know your ideas about these two sections, like non-verbal and oral. How you can
Okay.
use elicitation.
Non-verb. Can I?
Yes.
Non-verbal with we can show with our gestures actually. Yeah.
Wow,
We can
perfect.
mime. Yeah.
And how you can use it in oral form?
We can explain. We can give definition. We can give synonyms, antonyms, or make sentences. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes, I really love your answer. Wonderful. So I have decided to divide them for several kind of techniques. And by the way, we are going to check what kind of things do we usually most in our lessons. Every single technique is connected with 4 sections that are given previously. So the first one is a visual one. Here we have written, especially I have written several sections like pictures or photos. So you can ask your students to describe a photo or to predict the things that are happening there. For example, you give for your students the half part of a picture, and you give a chance to think for them, ask them, like by asking them, what do you think? What is hidden here? What can you tell about this picture? What is going to be in another part of this picture? So they're going to sing and try to give you different kind of answers. Yes, by this way you are going to check their understanding. And then for higher level students, you can create a picture or photo journal. Have you ever heard about the photo journal? What is it? And have you tried to use it with your classroom? Photo journal, guys.
Yeah, actually, it works for visual learners. Yeah. For
Yeah.
example, some students or pupils, they are visual learners and they can easily remember. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
And they can connect with new words and it will be easier for them.
So what do I mean by photojournal? So imagine that you give a chance for your students to take different kind of photos or pictures while they're walking to school, maybe, or home. Maybe they're going to visit some kind of places. They're taking different kind of pictures and photos that they see around them, maybe with the family, maybe with their friends, maybe they just like to take a photo of a landscape, nature, yes? So then they collect different kind of pictures
In this
and
way, it means authentic material. Yeah?
yes,
Authentic
sure.
material.
So they're working themselves by taking pictures, by describing it, and by maybe their classmates or group mates will give them different kind of questions. Yes, where you take it, how you experience yourself in this position. So you are also going to elicit the ideas that the student have. So thank you for your ideas. Brilliant. Next one is realia. Yes, we know realia we call mostly real objects, yes, that you use in your classroom. This kind of things can be simple things like pen, maybe markers, any kind of things that you use for your lessons. Imagine that you have a student who mostly regarded for kinesthetic way of learning. Yes, mostly teachers don't pay attention for this kind of students, and they always think why we have struggled with this kind of students, why their learning outcomes are very slow or bad. So because most of them are regarded for kinesthetic way of teaching, but we are not trying to use it. So we when they're touching, they feel these things, yes, so they visualize it, they see it, and even they touch it. And by this way we can also help our students to understand the meaning of a topic and make them to speak. So the next one is flashcards. Especially I wrote here that they are mostly appropriate for young learners, but we can also accept that we can use flashcards for all age of students, yes, and for all level of students by regarding and by looking for their style of learning. So next one, as some of you mentioned, gestures. Okay, so next one is language-based prompts. You are giving to your students incomplete sentences, like maybe you are going to retell something or tell your students something, but you didn't finish your sentence, and they are going to complete it. Or you go in this short kind of prompts, maybe sentences or beginning of the part of the sentence, like I like, I feel, I went, or I guess. So you're going to so you're just guiding them to give some kind of output, and you are going to listen to their answers, their ideas about some kind of things. Or you can give them examples, as some of you also mentioned previously, synonyms, antonyms, or definitions and description for the things that students maybe forgot. So next one is questioning technique. So CCQ questions. I want to give you a question here also. How often do you use CCQ questions? And when, in which part of your lesson do you use CCQ questions?
Yes, please, dear colleagues, you can use chat box, and write your ideas, opinions related to the question.
In which part of the lesson or when do you usually use CCQ questions? When do you use guided questions? How often do you use opinion questions?
The answers coming from our colleagues. Farida said she used it often, and Mohira said that she uses at the beginning of the lesson, and Alima said that in the middle of the lesson. It depends on the situation.
So
Yeah.
we almost
Can I answer?
Yes, sure, you can answer.
Concept checking question, CCQs. Yeah, actually, we can use, for example, we can explain about new topic, new theme, or new vocabulary, and we want to check their comprehension. Did they learn? Did they get the point? And that's why we can ask CCQs.
Yes.
And ICQs we can ask when instruction checking question. Yeah.
Great.
For example, we can explain about task. Then after it, we want to check their understanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And in this way, we can use ICQs.
But
Yes.
actually, if you think about introducing new vocabulary, you can easily use concept checking as a pre-exercise, like basically preceding exercise. You elicit, like, let's say I gave you a word, admire, admiration, something else, and I'm asking, I want you to learn these words, but I'm also curious, like, if you have anything you understand already, like in the list, what's your understanding? So I'm testing that, and then I will be suggestive of like the other meaning. Or it's cool when you have like introducing the vocabulary, for example, to fall as a verb, and then fall as an autumn, as a synonym to that. You can actually elicit, so what else would you think it could mean? Or stuff like that. So technically, I mean, you can use all of those depending on what's your aim or goal, like methodologically is.
Great. By your answers,
Yes,
we have you make me feel more energetic now. Thanks for your answers. I really love them.
And
okay.
we have, yes, we have also the answers. The answer, Madina said that you can ask it at the beginning of the lesson to check children's knowledge. And Nazgul said we use it, we give the task, and we check their understanding. And Zafargur Ergeshwas, I'm sorry if I mispronouncing your name. Not often CCQ, we use it while giving the tasks and want to understand. And Begayim said after giving the task to check understanding of the students. Thank you for your questions. Answers, I'm sorry.
Yes, perfect answers. Brilliant one. Thank you. So let's continue. I can't say that they are wrong. All of them are almost correct. Yes. So the total thing that I want to say that we always try to use questions, yes, in order to check students' understanding. Do they understand or not? So it doesn't matter when you use it at the beginning of the lesson, in the middle, or at the end. So you can use it anytime. So next one, especially better based elicitation. So here I write it as a reformulation. So what do you think? What can you understand by reformulation, and do you use it in your classroom? Reformulation, how do you use it? And can it help you to elicitate some kind of things or to find the answer from your questions or for your answers maybe? Reformulation, how can you use it, or how do you often use it?
So I can try to respond. I just don't want to be the dominant one.
It's okay.
Yeah,
So
can I
basically-
just add something about
Yeah.
reformulation?
Yeah, sure.
So it's also one of the language teaching technique, where a teacher repeats what the learner has said, but in a correct and improved form, without explicitly pointing out the learner's error. Yeah?
Yeah.
And also it's like kind of providing some model of correct language use.
Thank you. Perfect.
That depends, actually. I mean, so reformulation or echoing actually comes from psychology, and it's basically somebody put in the chat, like it's like paraphrasing the idea, or so you're basically, it's also checking if you understand your student correct. So it also has a point. So if, for example, Aziza has mentioned something like a sentence or her opinion, I'm gonna reformulate it, not to say it exact, but I'm gonna be basically reflecting on what she said to see if I understand them correct, and then they have a right to correct me as well. So if I want to add something new, then I need to be explicit about that, because otherwise the student might actually miss the point. I mean, that you're correcting a mistake or something. So this one is more for us repeating something. And then, of course, we can use the question intonation, or you can say, you can follow it up like with a question. Does everyone agree? For example, then you can engage the group too. But the main goal is
yeah, absolutely, and give the chance our students to compare the new version with their version.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot. So next one, spot the mistake and peer correction. So I want to say that peer correction, so you can use it, but you have to avoid of different kinds of circumstances that you can face up in your classroom. Have you felt this kind of things like, oh, I will not answer for the next time because my classmate correct my mistake? Or because of him, I did something wrongly. Have you faced this kind of situation that it may be in your classroom while doing some kind of peer correction?
Of course it happens, yeah. We are human beings, and our students also can be somehow frustrated being like corrected every time, and also by their peers. So that's why we have some sandwich method, giving feedback. Yeah, just to pay attention to some recommendations that need to be improved. So somehow it's like soft feedback giving.
Yeah, thank you. And the last two, interactive strategies like brainstorming, ranking, matching, and think, pay, share. So here I also wanted to add like the table. Some kind of students face with difficulties, like while reading the text, they have the problems with perception. Yes, they don't understand the whole meaning of the text, or they can't retell the text to you again. So here you can use a special tables, yes, or the charts that you can create by using or creating special questions for the text itself that can make your students to find the right answers and then answer for your questions. So next, high level of elicitation that are mostly used for high level of students, especially for upper intermediate, maybe intermediate and advanced level students, mostly connected with personal experience and connections that because here students connect the thing with their life experience. Next one, problem solving tasks, debates and discussions that we mostly use in our classroom, yes, and predictions from the context. So let's now rank all of the things that we have looked through from the most effective one to the least effective that you mostly use in your classroom. Let's try to write some of them. For example, I decided to write it as an example for you. The most effective one for primary classes, pictures, then gestures, CCQ questions, examples, reality, and synonyms. But what about you? How you can rank it from the most effective to the least one? So I will need to, I will try to read your answers in your comments.
Yes, please, dear participants.
What is the most?
It's extremely difficult for me to rank those based on, like, if you were to give me an example, I would tell you what's most suitable in this or that case. But in case of
Yeah,
ranking,
it's better to be done in the context, yeah?
yeah,
Let's
'cause otherwise,
let's try to this
Yeah.
one. Pictures. What do you think? Is it so important for you or not? Pictures.
like, if the goal is to elicit, like, if my task is basically to
It
provoke
depends,
their
yeah.
imagination,
Oh,
then
so yes.
eliciting something with associations might be a good way to do that.
Okay, great. So next one, what about synonyms and antonyms? How effective are they? And for which level of students do you think they are appropriate?
They are effective very
Depends on
much with the
what
students
outcomes are you supposed to
with
have.
pre-intermediate level.
With
Whenever
pre-intermediate?
they are trying to describe something, for example, photo, pictures, if they don't know some new words, they can use synonyms, antonyms in their speech in order to make them speak, develop their speaking skills.
Develop their speaking
Also,
skills.
imagination.
What about prompts? What do you think? Are they important? How often do you use it? And can they be the least effective one? Prompts.
No,
Or like
they're great if you're trying to get them into brainstorming, for example, before, like, instead of giving an essay before giving an essay topic, I mean, that would be you're giving a prompt and then you're asking them to start brainstorming. So that will be a starter for that one, like a good one. Of course, for higher level, if they know what to do with essays. But actually you can adapt it for like a lower level learners too. It depends, like, what's your prompt is, like, what are you prompting them for, I guess.
Sure. Thank you. So we are now looking, we will look through two types of questions, like outputs, convergent questions and divergent questions. So what do you think? What means convergent type of question? And what are the difference between convergent and divergent questions, in your opinion? So here I have created this kind of two slides. The main difference here is in idea or in a lamp. Yes, that here only one and here four or even more. So now let's listen to your ideas. What are the difference between this divergent and convergent questions?
According to your picture, I guess divergent questions, they encourage students to think broadly and creatively. Maybe explore different possibilities, ideas. But convergent questions just require students to combine ideas and combine knowledge from multiple fields.
From multiple fields.
Yeah.
Good ideas. Thank you. So any ideas?
And Anna Balloon volume said that limited number of answers or options.
Yes.
And Alima Aidralieva, convergent questions are closed-ended questions designed to elicit a single specific correct answer or a narrow range of possible responses. And Anna said, basically, is there a correct answer or maybe none? And Alima said that divergent questions are open-ended questions designed to stimulate creative, analytical, and critical thinking by allowing for multiple varied answers rather than the single correct one.
Thank you. I fully agree with your statements, guys. So especially when a teacher gives a question for the students, yes, if they exactly know the answer that contains only one word or only one answer, we can call it as a convergent question. But if the question contains or can contain in itself several kind of answers or several ideas, several options, several ideas, we can call it as a divergent type of question. Thank you. So now let's practice. Imagine that you're going to teach for your students future tense. So especially you're going to give them the definition and explanation of the usage of will and going to. So now the main question for you. What questions would you ask from your learners to draw out the meaning of this topic without explaining them directly? So here we are going to use, yes, one way of teaching. You are not going to explain for them this grammar topic. You are just going to give for your students question and get directly their opinions, their meanings, or their understandings of this two things, differences between will and going to. So now please think deeply and formulate the questions that you can directly ask from your students in order to know what do they know about will and going to, and what kind of answers can I expect from them?
The answer.
Yes, please, dear colleagues, share your ideas in the
It's
chat
a little
box.
bit difficult, I
What
think.
questions would you ask?
Yeah, what kind of questions can you ask from your students? Because imagine that they imagine that they are fourth grade students, and you have to come up with ideas that all students must in your class must know future simple, and you're going to explain them the definition, the grammar topic of will with a comparison of going to, but it will not be too deeply. Especially fourth grade students, you have to give them in a proper way, like just in order to get their understanding, you have to explain it shortly, but they have to know the usage, the process of how to use future simple. But before starting it, you have to you have to give the question for your students, and you have to understand what do they know or what can they predict about it. So what kind of questions would you ask them directly? Because grammar is a huge thing and it's difficult to teach sometimes, especially if they are primary classes.
Madina,
Maybe divergent questions.
Divergent question, okay. So for example, formulate the question.
How we can use divergent for example, present continuous in our situations, maybe. Oh, I don't know.
It's difficult, yes, I see. Future simple, because so what do you think? How we can formulate the question? You're going to ask it from your students, and you have to
Okay,
think.
can I just come up with one idea? I don't know if it's
Let's
correct or
practice.
not.
They're not
So
correct.
let me
Okay.
try, yeah?
Uh-huh.
So I'll give it a try. What do you think? I will
Okay.
ask my students, so what do you think someone means when they say, I will help you?
Wow. Sure. Perfect. Okay. Any ideas? Great question.
It's like for promise, yeah, used for promise or offers, just to elicit some ideas from the students. Like, What do you
Great.
think someone means when they say, I will help you?
I will have, yes. Okay, any ideas? I really love the
And
answers.
the responses from the chat. And Madina said, for example, what do you do in the morning? They answer like, we wake up, get up, to understand the meaning of the present simple. And the more answers from Gulnara Sisi, you help.
Oh, how we can help. So please formulate the question itself. How you will
And
get
Madina,
the idea from your students.
yes, Madina said another one, I can show pictures and ask students, is it happening now? What are they doing? And Madina Zairova said CCQ. And Zamira said, what will you do after the lesson? And Mohira said, when are you meeting with your friend?
Can I try?
Yes, sure. Why
Okay.
not?
It depends on the different kind of, yes, our planning. Yes, for example, if we want to, if it is higher grades, yes, future tense will go into, might be we can use any pictures, using the picture and like a prediction. Yes, for example, give me, look at the picture. For example, maybe half picture, we can close it and we can say, what do you think? What are they going to do? Maybe, yes, this kind of things we can use, yes? Or might be we can maybe read some maybe a short story, and we can ask what do you think? Maybe about someone, yes? What is she going to do? Or what will we do further? Yes, so this kind of things, yes? Might be it is my.
Yes, I do agree with you. Thank you. So thanks for brilliant questions that you give me now, that you have presented they exactly in an appropriate way. Thanks a lot. So then it's time to answer for the question, who can elicitate? Yes, student and teacher, student and student, teacher and student. Student, here we can have a question, how student and teacher. So especially imagine a situation that the teacher gives a question for the student. Like especially this kind of things mostly happens with me. Like my students like to give the question back to me. And then, Miss Aziza, what do you think? What about this? Or what do you know about this? What can you predict? And then I just laugh and say, oh guys, you're too intelligent, you're too clever, you always try to get the right answer from Miss Aziza. And then they laugh, especially when students are just sometimes avoid to give you answers. They want to listen to you firstly, and then after you they're going to give your answer. Yes, student and student, especially it happens when your students working together in a pair work maybe, or in a group work. And teacher to students, especially this happens in a traditional way of teaching mostly. So totally, we can look through the things and understand that elicitation is mostly appropriate for student-centered of teaching. Yes. Next one. One of my students, when I provided this session for before, especially give me this kind of question, when it's appropriate to elicitate. I think that it doesn't take the time. There's no the appropriate time. So you can elicitate whenever you want. You can give different kind of questions. It can be planned or unplanned, but it will be better if you plan the concrete things, like what kind of questions I can give for my students, when especially, and try to use it in your lesson plan, because it can help you to directly reach the position or the point that you want to get as an outcome at the end of the lesson or at the end of the term. Then the benefits of elicitation, that the teachers can informally assess students. Yes. So you are just getting the answers and you are observing them, and you try to think, oh, the students know well. He has good knowledge. So you are assessing it directly in this position. Then that this one is more suitable for student-centered the way of teaching, as I mentioned before. It creates students' confidence. If your student is shy, it's a little bit difficult for you. Yes, it will be difficult, but by the way, by supporting your students, you can get the correct way. Okay, so the challenge is that it takes too much time. As I mentioned, some students are too shy and they think a lot, or they wouldn't like to give you answer. And then sometimes it irritates others. Other students want to give you answer, but this is just looking for you with eyes like, I don't know what to answer, or just keeps himself so calm, and you don't know what to answer or what to tell. What do you think? What can you do in this kind of position when you give a question to your students, but you don't get the answer? It's he or she is just staying and don't know what to do. What can you do in this position?
We just can give it an opportunity to give an answer for the next lesson, or give an
Yeah,
answer to his, your
maybe,
partner, work
maybe.
with your partner in a
Yes.
way of threes.
Great. So now there is another question, like who is the audience in the class? So audience in the class, we can divide the audience for the whole class itself, or for small groups, yes, partner, or only a teacher. So all of them we can call as an audience. So the eliciting the whole class, there are several kind of things that we can consider. Yes, that all students are on their toes. Then you can allow students for doing them self-assessment. Some kind of students, as I mentioned, they're too shy. So some kind of students are dominant. They always want to give the answer for you. They always as a leader want to answer, and so on. But this kind of things are happening a lot. So now, while we will talk about the pair works and group works also, I have here read this thing like mingle. And how often do you use mingle activity in your class? And do it usually help you? Mingling. Do you use it for speaking activities?
That's a great question. Yeah, please, dear participants.
Yeah, of course, we can use mingling in our classes. With the help of mingling, they can get, how to say, they can share, yeah, with each
Yeah.
other their opinions, and it's really helpful.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
next one. How often do you use mafia in your classroom? Like the game
I have
mafia?
never used mafia in my classes.
Yes. Okay, you have never used.
I
Me
used
too. To
once
say the truth, I
only,
also didn't use it.
but it's
Okay.
not in Russian language, unfortunately,
If
not in
it's
English.
No, you can use it in English. I have observed it. So, by the way, as our students like it, I have tried to use a little bit different one as a mafia, but it calls zombie. So I give my students. I have created this kind of cards, especially in each of this card, written 2 letters. Especially in some of them age, which mean human, and depends on the class size, maybe 2 or 3 zombies. So they 3 zombie cards, Z, yes. And then I allow students to choose the card, like take, and then they choose it. Some of them, they shouldn't tell who are they are zombie or human. And then I give them questions, maybe all the topics that they have to talk. The main task is here that zombies have to poison all people. But they shouldn't say, oh, you are zombie now. No, they have to just go and try to speak with them. While humans, by looking to their emotional conditions, can say, I will not talk with you. I want to talk or chat with another person. So in this way, you are creating something beautiful, a special funny way of learning, especially creating the conversation. They're going try to poison everyone, yes, every human. By the way, they don't know who are the zombie, who are the person. They're just talking to each other, and at the end, you say, "What do you think? Who is a zombie in your class?" And they predict who is zombie. Like they imagine that there are 7 students in your class. One of them is zombie. That was zombie, and all of them, other 6 raise their hands and say, "I think zombie is Azamat. I think zombie is Mahira." And then they're thinking, why? Here also you give the question, why you think that this person is zombie? You're trying to get their ideas about concrete thing. They can use here the things that they have observed during their speech. Maybe they think that the emotion, maybe some kind of conditions that they did, or maybe some of them look through their cards and understand that this person is a zombie. But it's a very laughy and funny thing that I have used even with the primary, even with the higher level of students. They laughed and always asked me to repeat this game while creating some kind of speaking activities. So you can do it easily with only this kind of cards, like writing Z or H human. So let's continue. If you have questions, you can give. And the last one that I want to talk to you about, reflection. We always, as a teacher, have to write some kind of notes for ourselves, or as a diary, maybe as a journal. How often do we use elicitation, and how this help for our students, especially with shy students? How can we reach the main point of our lesson? Does this student be able to, did he able to answer for the question or not? So every single thing must be written and must be analyzed by the teacher. Here I also try to tell you that it will be better if you will use the recordings of your lesson. Try to use cameras because they help you a lot. By this way, you are not always just give a short reflection of a whole lesson and how you use elicitation. No, you can observe any kind of even small things that can not be noticeable while you're teaching. Maybe some kind of students are just sitting, maybe they're not paying attention, maybe they don't understand. So by this way, by this short recording, you will try to understand the mistakes or things that you have postponed. So now I say that it is important. My session is almost over, but I want to hear your ideas, your opinion totally about the meetings that we have provided with you now. So I will be happy if you will be able to tell me something about our session, how it was gone, and did you get something maybe? So here you can scan and write your ideas, or even in chat. I will be really happy by seeing and by reading them. Thank you, by the way. If you have questions, you can give me. I'm always ready to answer. And I want to say that maybe the things that I don't know, maybe I will know now, okay? I will get from you. But I was really happy to work with such amazing and such energetic groups that give me huge of energy today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really fruitful session. Yeah, we have known about divergent questions, about elicitation. It was really fruitful. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Yeah, great job, Aziza. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, dear colleagues, please, you can ask questions, and Aziza can answer a couple of questions.
Yes, I am ready to answer if you have questions.
As I see a lot of appreciation from our participants, right, Nadra?
Yes.
So also don't forget to follow me and to support me. I will also follow you back, I think.
Yeah.
So I will be really happy if you will be able to share with me your ideas about the session itself, okay?
Thank you so much. You've done a great job. Thank you so much to
Thank
have you as a first speaker in our Cascade Learning segment. It's a great collaboration between Open Central Asia Interest Community and the American English live webinars. So I think you will be a great motivator for our upcoming speakers who are hesitant about how it's going to be, and they're asking a lot of questions, and it's interesting format. They learn, they watch webinars, and they learn, they prepare their slides, and it's great to Cascade.
And we have a question from Tunakai Pazilva. How often do you use elicitation in your class?
Thank you. Amazing. So I think that it's a thing that we can answer for. Like, I can't say that I don't use it at all. You're using it in every lesson. You're using it in every time. Even in unconsciously, we are giving questions to our students, even while explaining them something, even while checking their understanding. You're giving them elicitation. Yes, you're just elucidating them. So I think that we're, as a teacher, not only me, but all of us using it. But maybe we don't know the meaning of this term, but we are using it.
Wonderful, great response. Okay, if we don't have questions, Aziza, could you please make me a host again?
Make what?
Could you make me a host again? Because I made you a host. Yeah, please go to participants section, and
now just a minute.
there you can find my name and the three dots.
Thank you for the appreciation and being thankful for the session.
So I did.
Thank you so
I
much.
think everything is very clearly detailed explanation. That's why our colleagues
Thank you all.
are keeping to thank.
Okay, now it's time to wrap up today's session, our first Cascade Learning Open Central Asia Interest Community plus American English live webinar session. So thank you so much again, Aziza. You've done a great job. You are a great speaker, and
thank you.
Yeah, you've done a great job by motivating other speakers who are going to cascade the learning, to cascade the knowledge which they will gain from other webinars from the series 23. So now, and our last webinar is going to be in September with Angela Nazarbekova. It's tomorrow, yes, September 26th at 8 p.m. Tashkent time. So please stay tuned. Please, those participants who are here in our in this session, please join, and please ask your colleagues to join, share the links. So I'm sure they will be happy to join us and learn from colleagues from Central Asia. And of course, you can apply for these segments. You can apply for our Central Asia Voices in October. The open alumni from Turkmenistan, Sapar Nepes, is going to be interviewed by our community leader, Nadra Kushpakova from Uzbekistan. And you can also apply for our Educator Connect special webinar, which is the segment for any teacher from Central Asia. And you can also share your teaching tips, which we highlight each week from teachers from Central Asia. And our new segment and our first session with Aziza, Open Central Asia Interest Community plus American English live webinar. So you can apply for these segments, dear teachers, dear colleagues from Central Asia. Oh, you can also follow our Facebook page, and you can also follow our YouTube channel. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining. It was great. It was amazing. Thank you so much again, Aziza.
Thank you
Thank you
too.
for joining. Thank you, Aziza.